Oh, you dropped it. It's right here. See? Hi, I'm Ellen. Welcome to my House of Tiny Pets. Today's video is going to be all about hamster toys. We're going to go to a few pet stores that we have, not our usual pet stores, because we think it'd be awkward to just go into a pet store that we usually regular and film and talk about how some of their products are bad. So we're going to different ones that we don't normally go to. And we are going to look at really good hamster toys that are available for us. We're going to look at some hacks, maybe some that aren't particularly made for hamsters that you can still use and that your hamsters will love. We're also going to look at bad hamster toys, ones that are aimed specifically at hamsters but that end up being dangerous for them and bad for their health. So we'll look at both of those. I don't love pet stores. I don't like that we go to them so often. But sometimes it's unavoidable, sometimes it's your only option, you need something quick or now, or sometimes you just are tempted to go to the pet store and get something. So when you do have to go to the pet store, I will show you which ones or which toys you should really get, which ones you should gravitate toward. Reasons why I don't like pet stores. I know it's not a super popular opinion. I have 3 reasons. I'll just tell you really quick. My opinion may not be yours. I don't love that pet stores don't educate people. They let them adopt pets and don't really give them correct information about how to care for them properly. I don't like that. I don't like that they feed into overpopulation of animals. I realize that they do offer adoptions and I love that, but not for small animals. They don't really cater toward them, which is what I love the most. They do offer adoptions for cats and dogs every once in a while, but overall they feed the problem of overpopulation of animals. Thirdly, I don't love that they sell products that are dangerous or that are bad for the health of animals. I don't like that. We're going to look at some today and I'll point them out to you. Avoid them at all costs if you love your pet. Anyway, without further ado, we're going to go to the pet store. You're going to come with us. We're going to give you some pro tips, some hacks, and some just regular tips that aren't pro, but they're still good tips. But we'll see you there. And we're here. Look at this fat mouse. He's so cute. He's not in focus though. Alright, so we're at our first pet store that shall be left unnamed to look at their toys and their cages. These are bad things. So these cages behind me are really small. They're not good for any kind of hamster. We have dwarf hamsters, and it's too small for those. Not a good cage. But their tubes are good. We just have them in different angles and different things under the bedding for our hamsters, and they pop out and love them. Let's move on. Not large enough for anything. Again, not large enough for anything. We do use water bottles for our hamsters, not for the bunnies though. The only thing is you have to make sure their little ball is still working. But we have this one for Clover's cage, and it works pretty good. They still like the one with the little hide under it better. I don't know why, but they drink out of that one more. Let's go. These are more exciting. Wood chews are always good. Hamster teeth never stop growing, so they need lots and lots of wood chews. It also gives them enrichment so they're not bored. Very good. Oxbow Enriched Life is a really good brand and line that they make. We use them for the bunnies and the hamsters. So if you can find, Oxbow Enriched Life is good because they use dyes that are not animal-based, plant-based. Plant-based dyes. So a lot of these are dyed from other things. Not saying that that's really, really bad for your hamster, just if you have the option. There are many that are not chemical dyed. So these hamsters are set up with really bad wheels. These are metal wheels that have holes throughout them that can catch their toes and their nails and rip them. So those are bad. Bad wheel. They're also way too small. What they have in there is same as Clover. This is the same as Clover. The wheel's about this big. And the rule of thumb with wheels is you want your hamster to be able to run on it without bending its back. So we actually have one that they have set up for their Syrian hamster. Those are the wheels that we use for our dwarf hamsters, because they're able to run on it easily without bending their backs or arching their backs to run. They offer shampoo for hamsters and rabbits. It's not necessary. They both clean themselves. Rabbits will clean themselves like a cat. Hamsters, if you just offer them a sand pit, will clean themselves in that. That's dangerous. You shouldn't wash or bathe a bunny or a hamster. So this is what we use for Clover. It's in 2 pieces though. For her sand pit, we just fill this with sand and then she feels protected with a little lid on it. It's broken. Vita drops, also not needed. They just need their food and their water. They don't need any vitamins along with it. That's fine. Nesting material gets caught in their teeth and will cause them to stop eating. Their bedding is good enough, they don't need anything softer than that. Dust baths are not the same as sand baths. Dust baths are for chinchillas. If you use the same sand you'd use on a chinchilla for your hamster, it gets in their respiratory tract, what's it called? Respiratory system, and messes up their respiratory. Just a regular play sand that you wash yourself, perfectly fine. It's more coarse and heavy and won't get into their lungs. Teeny tiny bowls! We use these all the time for their food, and they just hop in there and fit perfectly. So this is the size wheel we use for our dwarf hamsters. And it's like the biggest one that they make. How big is it? 10 inches? I don't know how big it is. Oh, 8 1/4. And it's good for dwarf hamsters. Another option is the saucer. I don't let our 2 girls run on it because they fling themselves off. But Clover does it very calmly, so I trust her to use her saucer. Hamster balls. They're debatable. A lot of people say that they stress your hamster. They also have air holes in them so that your hamster can breathe, but also get their toe or nail caught in it. And these are way too small. So even if you use this, it would arch their back and give them back problems. If you were going to use a hamster ball, you'd want a giant one. But again, it stresses out your hamster and you may not want it. Himalayan salt. Again, not necessary. Your hamster is going to get all of the nutrients that they need from their food. They don't need to be licking salt. That doesn't do anything for them. It just makes them thirsty. Loofahs are good. Our hamsters do not care about loofahs at all. It is an option for your chew toy though. And again, if you can find them with dyes from natural foods, that's a good option. These are cute. It is a chew and a house. So snack shacks are another one that's debatable. Everyone will tell you that they're wrong because they use pine shavings to make them, along with other ingredients. Pine shavings themselves are not harmful. We don't use them for bedding, so when a hamster runs through pine shavings, if you use it as bedding, it disrupts phenols inside there that get into their lungs. The phenols themselves are toxic. But if it's in a chew toy, they're not going to be breathing it in. So that's why it's not super bad that there's pine in it. Because hamsters will have wood chews that they ingest, not a big deal. The problem with these is the other ingredients. They do list honey as one of the top ones along with other things. So it's just not healthy overall for them to eat. It's not that it's the toxic pine, it's the other things that are inside of it. I wouldn't give it to hamsters. We did with our first hamster before we knew any better, and she really liked it. And she lived a long time, but knowing what I know now, I wouldn't give it to another hamster. Okay. More oxbow. They do a really good job with their treats. We offer these to the bunnies. It's also good for hamsters. But they use really good natural ingredients and not too much sugar. Again, you just want to limit how much they get. These are more processed with lots of sugar in them. And it's just not great for them. Ooh, yeah. I grabbed too many. Yogurt drops. Not good for hamsters or bunnies. Neither should be eating dairy products. They're bad for them. So, no, what are these? Yogurt drops. Hamsters need hides. They are a prey animal, so they like to hide. Some good ones are right here. This is again a chew toy and a good hideout, and they offer them a little bit bigger too. This is okay. It's just a hideout, just for looks.
If you notice him chewing anything plastic, maybe give him a different one.
Yeah, if you see him chewing anything plastic, maybe replace it with a good chew one. So you don't want him eating any plastic. These are cute. So you can also DIY some hides. We used popsicle sticks and pieces of wood. We've used just like a glass jar, like we finished off olives, so we used the glass jar and put it in the bedding and covered it with bedding. And then it's kind of like a little peephole. You can clear the bedding off and look and see your little hamster in there. So there's lots of options for hides. Even fish tanks have some, the aquatic area. So this is in the bird section. Again, it's a little chew toy and hideout. And this is really cute too. For her chew, and you put like food in it. That'd be neat.
There's a couple more you left too.
It's like a little coconut. I think this is for reptiles though. It's pretty cool. A little seashell one. That's so cool. It's like a little tree trunk. That's what we have. So our two girls have one of these and they love it. We just clean it out whenever we clean their cage and clean all in here. And they don't chew it at all. We keep an eye on it. But they love their big rock. Extra small whimsies are a really good chew toy for hamsters as well. They're like 49 cents a piece. Sometimes you can get one free, but they're really good for teeth and nutrition. And they're in the dog section. New pet store. So we're at a different one now. These are the wheels I wanted to show you that they put in a lot of the display cages with the hamsters. Their toes get caught in these really easily and get hurt. They're cheaper, but they're not any good. They don't even have, like, this is too small and this is too big. There's no good one right now. It's sausage. This is really cute. That would be a good option. It gives them some enrichment, and it's also a chew toy. We talked about these. This is nothing good. If you want to know a good treat for your hamster, look up something fresh. Fresh fruit, fresh veggies. They love them. They don't need anything processed and sugary and bad for them. I've already talked about that.
Bedding?
Bedding. Alright. Aspen is like the only safe wood bedding. It's pretty cheap, so it's a good cheap option. Avoid cedar, avoid pine. Aspen. Paper bedding is a really good one. That's what we use. We've used aspen in the past, and I like paper bedding better. Avoid ones that are scented. So anything that's just plain paper bedding is great. Scented is bad.
Same thing with baking soda.
Same thing with baking soda. They use it to control the smell, but it's bad for your hamster to breathe in. Apple spice. I'm trying to find extreme odor control. Anything that says odor control or scented, not good. Just plain paper bedding. Petco or PetSmart both have apps that you can use. We use them a lot to price check. A lot of times it'll save you $1 or more from what you can see in the store for prices. So you just scan it on the app and it'll pull up the price, and then you show it at the cash register, and they'll usually price match pretty well. Again, this has no nutritional value for your hamster. It's full of calcium and salt.
It's like a drip.
That does nothing for them. That's all for people. Look at this hamster. So cute. Hi, buddy. He's cute. They're out too. Man, you're so cute. Again, Oxbow Petco has more options. Enriched Life. So they have cardboard and natural wood shoes. Lots of options. Our girls both have these. Just simple wood shoes to keep their teeth under control. And they're really cheap. We got crickets. One thing we learned about hamsters, they like mealworms and crickets. And crickets are funnier for them to eat if we're watching them, because they can like hunt them and attack them. So they're pretty small crickets. If you want to, you can squish them squish their head. It sounds really gross and mean. Right before you give them to the hamsters so that they don't bite the hamster or hurt them whenever they're getting them. But they're a really nutritious snack.
Hope you liked the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
What do you got?
What's that?
What do you got?